Hello everyone and welcome. In this video we're going to continue coding our snake game, and the goal for today is to create a little world or level with walls where the snake can't go through. So in order to do that, I've created this text file called world.txt, which has a bunch of ones and zeros. The goal is wherever there is a 1 we're going to put a wall, wherever there is a 0 we're going to have a blank space. So we're going to open this file in our Python script and create the walls accordingly. So the first thing to do is to create a list to store our world. So let me say create the walls of the level, and we're going to create a list called world data, which is just going to be a blank list for now. And down here, let's open the level file. So let me say with open world.txt as world. And all we're going to do for now is add each line of the world's file to our world data list. So for line in world, world data dot append that line. So now we have a list with each line of our file. Now let's actually create the walls. So let me say create walls. And let me just code this first and I'll explain later. So for row, comma, tiles in enumerate world data. And again, for call tile in enumerate tiles. And I'm just going to pass in here. So basically what enumerate does is it iterates through a list, but added to getting each individual element of that list, it also gets the corresponding index. So in this case, the row is going to correspond to the index of each line of the world data list, and tiles is going to correspond to the actual line of the list. And then we're going to do a second for loop that's going to have the index of each individual element of each line and the element itself, okay? And in here, we're going to create a wall. Now, the reason we need the indexes is to know the position of the wall, because we're going to create a wall at the square that has coordinates row call, okay? Let's create a class for the walls. Let me say class walls. This is going to inherit from pygame.sprite.sprite. You don't have to know what this means, just type it out and you'll understand later. So let's define init. This is going to take in x, y, and color. First, we need to initialize the super class. So super.init, like so. And now let me say self.x equals x, self.y equals y, self.color equals color. And then our walls are also going to be surfaces, just like the snake. So self.image equals pygame.surface, surface with a capital letter. And this is also going to be tile size by tile size, like so. And now let's fill. So self.image.fill with the self.color. And now let's create the rectangle for our wall. So self.rect equals self.image.get rect. Get rect, like so. And our self.rect.x is going to be self.x times the tile size, because remember, we want the self.x and self.y to be in the form of the square of the grid and not the coordinates themselves. And then self.rect.y is going to equal self.y times the tile size. So this is all we need for our walls class. Now back to my create walls for loop. We're going to create the walls wherever there is a 1 in our file. So let me say if tile equals 1 in a string format, then wall is going to equal walls. And we're going to draw the walls at the indexes row and call. That's why we got the indexes with enumerate. And the walls are going to be blue. I haven't created this color yet, so let me go here. Let me go up here and create it. Let me just check my cheat sheet to see the values. So 70, 130, and 255. Okay, so now we have our walls created. Now we're going to create something called a group. So let me say up here, create wall group. This is a built-in PyGame functionality, which basically allows us to group together instances of the same class and treat them as if they were one. Okay, so let me say wall group equals PyGame dot sprite, sprite dot group. And this is going to create a group for us. That's the reason why we needed our walls to be sprites, is because we wanted to create a sprite group. So basically, like I said, this is going to allow us to treat every single wall in the group as one. So when we draw the walls, we don't need to draw each wall individually. We can just draw the group, and the whole group of walls is going to be drawn. So let me just add here the wall to the wall group. Wall group.add, and add is a built-in method for groups in PyGame. So let's add the wall. And here, let me just draw the walls. Draw walls, and the sprite groups in PyGame also have a draw built-in method. So we only have to say wall group.draw, and we need to say where we're going to draw it. We're going to draw it onto our screen. So now this should work. Let me run this and see if it does. And there you go, we have a bunch of walls. Now notice that our snake is drawn onto the position 0, 0. Now there is a wall there. I want to specify a spawn position for my snake. So let me go here to my world.txt, and let me delete the 0, for example, and let me put a P in here. This is going to stand for player. Now let me go here to my for loop, and let me say elif tile equals P. My spawn position is going to equal a tuple that has the row and the column. Now let me just go up here to my game variables. Let me say define spawn position for the snake, and let me say spawn position equals just an empty tuple. So now instead of 0, 0, we're going to spawn the snake at spawn position 0 and spawn position 1. So now my snake is going to spawn at the position that I put inside of the map. So if I run this, index out of range. Okay, so I need to create the snake obviously after I create my file, because only after I create, I create my level, because only after I do that am I going to know the spawn position, right? So let me run this. This should work now. There you go. Now our snake is spawned in the in that position that I defined, and it moves just fine. Of course, it doesn't have collision handling yet. I can go through the walls just fine, but I'm going to do that in a different video. Now, this is a really easy, simple, and cool way to create a level in PyGame, because you only have to, for example, if you want to change your level, if you want to put, for example, a wall here, you just delete this, you change the file, and you come here, you run the script again, and there's another wall there that wasn't there before. It's that easy to change the walls, right? That's all you have to do. So this is a really easy and simple way to create levels in PyGame. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope this was helpful and easy to understand. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.